All right, guys, Dominic Izzo Wing Chun out here in Chicago. I'm going to go a different direction today. I'm actually going to praise. I know a lot of people don't like how I just deliver my views, and I don't care. I'm going to give you my opinions. But I want to address, because I can't stand the back and forth in the comments, and I don't want to get sucked in this shit again of the comments. But if you guys got a statement, I do want to be able to back it up. Now, here's the deal. I want to back it up with information. I don't care about challenge matches anymore. I just don't. I don't care about, well, prove it and this and that, blah, blah, blah. 90% of you commenting have never done shit to show anybody in the Wing Chun or martial arts community that you have any skill set at all other than within your own gym. So, you know, let's just all just have fun and agree to disagree. But I want to talk about this specifically because I came pretty hard at, it's a little bit fucked up. I went pretty hard at the William Chung lineage the other day, and I want to put this out here. So this is a comment by Jerry Devone. Jerry, I'm not picking on you. I'm just answering your question better, right? Because if I spend so much time in the comment section, it's a waste of both our times. We're going back and forth like crazy, right? Jerry Devone says, who I have no idea who Jerry is. Izzo is just a guy who's half decent at something, but feels he needs to share his opinions if they carry some sort of special weight. Well, I've got one of the biggest YouTube channels on Wing Chun that there is out there, right? So that means that people want to hear my opinion. Number two, I've paid my dues, brother. I was a cop. I was in the nightclub industry. I've got little man's disease, so I love to fight. I think I put my money where my mouth is when people come into the gym. I've always left unedited footage up, which means that if I've got punched in the face, I've left it up, right? I don't use gloves and for sparring and any shit like that. No mouth guards, anything like that. When Danny Horgan came in, and the Wing Chun community decided to tear me up on that Chi Sao, I still left that up, and I never really saw anybody except for me, Sifu Fo, and a couple others, Chi Sao Danny. Even Jin Young had a hard time with him because it wasn't really Chi Sao, it was abysmal, but I'm not defending that. So my point being is, anybody who's ever come in the gym, I've always left up unedited footage. I was awarded for disarming a guy who stuck a knife in my face on the street, you know, as a cop. So I paid my dues, right, is my point. So if I have something to say, it comes from a place of experience, right, real world experience, not set up in a ring, sparring under agreed upon circumstances. But I want to point something out. Probably gets by a lot more because of his size. Probably gets by a lot more because of his size. Probably gets by a lot more because of his size. Keep that in mind. His Wing Chun isn't really all that. His Wing Chun isn't really all that. My Wing Chun really isn't all that. I want to talk about something for a second then. And I'm just going to, I'll use your shit against you to a degree. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It is. Jerry's a student of Sifu Keith Mazza. Now, I'm going to say this. We need to look at something for a second. And I'm gonna break down shit I actually like and what my viewpoint is, again, based off of visual only. I don't know Keith. I heard through the grapevine Keith doesn't like me years ago. Couldn't give a shit. But believe it or not, I'm actually going to praise Keith for something. Check this out. This is Keith Chi Sao in his prime, probably 10, 12 years ago or something. Let's look at something for a second, Jerry. There's no continuation of attack. It's just the I gotcha game, but that's not what I'm looking at right now. There's those people in the crowd again. No. Because they don't like what Keith did, right? And I'm actually going to come to Keith's defense here for a second. Let's keep watching. All right. Where everybody says that my size and strength were kind of the thing that saved me, do you see how Keith is grabbing and controlling in Chi Sao? Couple different things, and Keith is not here to defend himself. I know his son was in the comment section the other day, so I'm sure he's going to get over there. This is the problem with Chi Sao, especially coming from the lineage of the traditional Wing Chun, is if you look, again, and I'm going to back this up. Now, Keith, if you watch this, I'm actually going to tear you apart for a second, but it's only to defend you in the long run, right? If you watch Keith's Chi Sao, watch how when he strikes, he actually backs up. It's going to be the tag to gain distancing. Keith is backing up. There was no forwarding continue of attack, right? It's the I got you game and that's it. I'm not concerned about that. I want to say why that's actually a problem in the Wing Chun community and why Keith actually is holding back in this. Continuing. Gonna get that. There's that tag, I got you, and Keith is moving back. He's creating distance. That's the traditional Wing Chun, the William Chung's lineage. They create distance. They teach this, the blindside, stepping off line, okay? You know, comes off line to throw. It's a hooking motion. There's nothing wrong with that. There are hooking and arcing and hook punches in Wing Chun. It's completely perfect. I'm gonna tell you something. If you're actually a brawler, and you could see this is the dead giveaway right here, and I want to let you guys in on the psychology of fighting for a second. See that fucking smile on his face? See, here's the edge what a lot of people don't get. That's a guy who loves to fucking bang it out. That's a guy who loves to fight. That's a guy who really wants to green light this shit. Now, it's not the art, it's actually the artist, right? Keep that in mind. I'm going to keep going forward. Believe it or not, I mean, all you guys want to think I'm shitting on traditional Wing Chun. I am, but the artist is a different story. He's going. He's trying to the backing up, right? The backing up. Here's the controlling hands again, pushing it in, this and that. And look at the size difference. Look, the guy can't get an entry because of Keith's size. So Jerry, do you think that Keith's size, and he's a fellow Paisan, so you know he's going to be fucking aggressive and strong. Do you think maybe Keith gets away a little bit more because of his size and strength and what he's able to do? Now this is Keith in his prime, right? Look, guy goes and he posts up on him. And because of Keith's size and strength, there's nothing. It doesn't affect him. So you want to talk about my size and my strength being able to give me a little bit of leverage. What do you look at Keith just finally when Keith gets it, what does he do? He aggressively bows in. Bowls it. What? Just watch. Powering in. The guy doesn't stand a chance. That's right there. Do you see what Keith does? He gets up. It's all meant to be a friendly exchange, but when you're a fucking fighter, you can't turn that side off. It is the animal that needs to come out, right? It needs to come out. End of story. The guy doesn't know what the fuck to do. Keith is being respectful as much as possible. He even goes to give the guy congratulations. Look, he's trying to be camaraderie based. I get it. This is the fucking street kid, the Italian in him that has fucking probably fought his whole life. All right? You can't turn that side off when you're training. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, what'd you spar with fucking Keith? Well, let's take Keith years and years and years ago, and then let's look at me years and years and years ago. Probably the same age, right? Oh, let's look at this. This is Clint Cloys, and look at me. So I'm going to say Keith's probably got to be about 5'10", and I will bet you in that he's got to be about 220 in there. I'm 5'7", 165 here. This is Clint Cloys and I. Clint is 5'11", maybe 190 there. But let's just look at my style and what I wind up doing. And we take it slower for a second. Forward. Again, you know my style. Forward. There's my recovery. Okay, Tony's asking a question here. I want to get into more. And we roll. If I get pushed back, it's to reposition to go in. Always going in, right? Because I don't want people to gain space on me. Even when Clint pulls, I'm going to turn and face. Instruction. I don't back up as much when I do after I hit something. I see I keep going in, I keep going in, I keep going in, right? So I just wanted to show you that little brief for comparison for a second there. Do I have more on this? Yeah, I think we have a little bit more of an exchange here. This is little old me. I don't like to back up. If somebody pulls, if they push, I'm going to change an angle. I go in, I step in. I'm always going in. Take that bang, right? So I'm bullheaded. Always going in, always going in. Even if I get backed up, I got to go in again. You guys get the gist on this, right? Boom. Always going in, always going forward. So if people are going to say, if you rewind 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Keith at that size, me at that size, both with the skill sets with the two different types of energies, who wins? It's going to be Keith. What you have to understand is, and this is where we're similar, but why he's got the edge. We're both street fighting, idiot dagos, right? Who probably have tempers. We're both aggressive, and we both wind up having that fighter's mentality. The only edge, because Keith would have size on me, skilled mass on skilled mass always wins. I told you, if Keith unleashed in that video, there would be nothing left of that guy in a stain. But that requires you going in. The only reason that guy was able to get anything in on Keith was he kept backing up, which is what I don't like about the traditional Wing Chun. If you stuck Keith Mazza in Wang Sheng Liang's lineage, he'd probably be one of the best in the fucking world. And that's because of his mentality. A lot of guys don't have that mentality. Even Bos Tepe does, Norbert Mayday does, Victor Gutierrez does, Klaus Braun does, Sifu Sergio does, and what lineage are they with? The Lung Ting's lineage, right? The Lung Ting's lineage has a far more aggressive mindset. In my opinion, Keith Mazza was held back with his ability in the traditional Wing Chun lineage. So my point is my edge with Keith would have been just constantly moving in, because he likes to back up. That would be the only way I would be able to win against Keith. Other than that, all things being equal, yes, he's always going to win because of size and strength, Jerry. That's how it is. Your size always has something to do with it. You can't blindside somebody like Keith who's aggressive and coming in. And the default mode, all that training, all those years of training, you saw what he did. Here's where we're at, right? Let's back up. And this is one example. Keith has got more stuff out there. I don't have time to do this. But when you look at this, all things being equal, all those years of blindside training, all of this, it all comes down to Keith feels a little bit of, it's not even a loss, but you're going to challenge me? What does he do? The second he gets challenged, the fighter's instinct takes over, and it's bull in a fucking china shop. There's no blindside there. It's all pure fucking aggression, and your skill takes over. You fall back on your training. End of story. Now, let's look at where that winds up applying, and let's talk about you. Jerry, again, good. I'm so glad this is one of the few guys out there who's going to put his money where his mouth is, but let's look at your stuff. I'm going to check this out for a second here. I want to look. Because there's a height difference. The guy's a little bit taller than you. You outweigh him. So your size is going to be a factor. Let's look and see if you implemented blindside, angling, or any of the other things that they teach in traditional Wing Chun. The Pak to gain that distance, anything we've seen in an example. I want to see if any of the traditional Wing Chun examples through training are shown in what you do here. Well, you step to the blind side, but now you're on the inside. And it's repetitive striking. It's overwhelming. Let's look at that again. I can't slow this down, but yeah, you go with the left-handed lop, and then you step and strike. You're still squared up to him because he's going to try to face an angle. So your opening movement, left hand comes up to grab, and then he goes to bong. He just fucks it up. But you're not blindside stepping because you do exactly what I teach, which is to step with the left leg and strike with your power hand, right? If your power hand was your left hand, you'd step with your right. So right there, you just did exactly what I've been preaching about for years. There's no blindside stepping. You default based on a structure of what the pyramid is, which traditional Wing Chun doesn't teach. The human anatomy already does it. You didn't step to the blind side. You cleared a line, and your power leg or your power hand was matched by your opposite side, which is teaching a tripod. And then you're doing exactly what Redmond talked about against, which is that step, plant, drag. Watch, you're stepping and you're keeping that arrow stepping. I can't remember what it was called, but you're stepping and planting, stepping, planting. And you go and you knock the guy down. So Redmond spoke against it, but you did it. You can continue. Knock the guy down. These guys are, all right, I'm not discrediting you. Right there in that first 18 seconds proves that going in and forward and smothering and overwhelming somebody in Wing Chun work. That's it. You just proved it. Now, I don't know this guy's skill set. I don't know his training history. You're in the ring with him. I'm not. So good. Number one, good for you. We don't have my boxing matches recorded because we didn't record them back, fucking 20 years ago. But I was in the ring. It's overwhelming. It's a little bit intimidating. It's kind of fun. Good for you for getting in there. You just proved that the basic principles line in, right? The concepts. Smothering, forwarding energy, keeping your structure. Let's look at this again. The first 18 seconds. You keep structure, smother, and overwhelm. That's it. That is Wing Chun in a nutshell. Sum it up. Cut this 18 seconds out. That just proves Wing Chun works. Now, okay, the guy gets up. His world is fucking rocked. We'll let this play because this is kind of cool. Yep. There's your, you do, no, okay. Deviating off the Wing Chun a little bit. All right. If, again, I don't know what your training is, what you guys teach. Oh, that was beautiful. Look at that for a second. Okay, it's a try. You try to step to the blind side, right? You do the exact same thing. Did you notice? You actually go to step to the blind side, but then you come in on center. This is fantastic. Here comes. Do the same thing. It's going to be a lot. Step to the left. You go to step out that way, but look what your left foot does. Because blindside would have had you on that compass step angling, which meant that your right leg would have been stepping outside that you guys train forever, but your left leg comes into center. You can't help it. Do the same thing. Because once you make that contact, your left leg is going to fall in because that side let it to be able to get this hand out. It's beautiful, but it's not blindside shit. He winds up on it because you got his arm and he doesn't know how to face. I don't think this guy knows Wing Chun. There's no Bill G in that. Recovery of center line. Yeah, and you got great control. He's done. Okay, so at this point, honestly, anything post this, you could blow him over with a stiff wind, right? Let's see where we're at. Does he get back up? Hey, balls for him for getting back up. Yeah, and it turns into the, good for you guys. You got to be both a little bit tired. What I like the best about this is you actually have balance on everything. But again, if I'm going to come back to something, it's going to be the fresh shit the first opening 18 seconds. Your size, your strength enabled you to step in and overwhelm someone. Good job. But none of that was what is displayed in the traditional Wing Chun taught by William Chung. That's my whole fucking point. I'm going to tell you flat out, if Keith Mazza, he's got some humility to him, but he's also got that ego. If you put Keith Mazza in his prime against William Chung in his prime, and you let Keith off the hook, Chung doesn't stand a chance. I don't give a shit which one of you fuckers out there says, oh, based on his energy and this and that, Chung would get his ass kicked by Mazza. Mazza is far more aggressive. He had size, and he had a better fighter's mentality. Sorry, I don't mean to disappoint you, but you look at one of the guys, you guys keep saying, Keith is one of the top guys out there. Look at what he defaults to. When you get to a certain point of fighting, and a lot of you don't know this, where your nervous system is overwhelmed and you get that adrenaline dump, you fall back to the level of training. And what these guys at the traditional Wing Chun is good at, they're good at that sparring, right? That entry, but you automatically smother, overwhelm, and continue in when your body's on that oh shit fight or flight method. That's why people say, show me Wing Chun, and you don't see it. When you really look at it, and I'll go back to this because I'm going to defend him. The only air quotes Wing Chun you will see if you slow it down for Jerry is the Lop Strike. Lop Strike Foundation. So it's the first opening entry move. This guy puts up a guard, Lop Strike, and then perfect foundation. Opposite leg supporting forwarding hand. Beautiful. That's it. You do not need to see Wing Chun anymore. Then it becomes, so you got technique, you open with technique, and then you continue with concept, forwarding pressure, overwhelming. Why are we still doing this? It doesn't work in the MMA. It doesn't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go back to Keith. Keith in the position. When all things being equal. Okay, you got great technique. There's Lop, clear it, strike to distract him. If Keith did Fan Sao, continuation of attack, there would be nothing left of this guy. So again, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be inside of the mind of Mazza from all these years ago. He's frustrated because he wants to unleash. You can't. It's a friendly contest. This is why Chi Sao is bullshit. Taught the way that it's taught. A Chi Sao competition? No. Mazza would kick the shit out of this guy. I don't even know who the fuck he is, but he would. Because he's a fighter. Boom. The only thing I don't like is gaining that space. If he chose to eat him up, he'd eat him up. But let's go back to... It's not that he's frustrated. It's, all right, the fight or flight kicks in. Boom, you got me? He just overwhelms the shit out of him. Technique goes out the window. Concept takes over. Guys, understand, when I'm talking about the William Chung lineage, and I'll even say the same fucking thing for the Lung Ting lineage, what are they? They're the two biggest schools out there. What do schools need to stay in existence? Tuition. Students. The way the traditional Wing Chun is taught, as well as the Lung Ting lineage, lacks students' true fighting progression. Those who study it, and I said it, Eamon Bostepi, Keith Kernspet, Victor Gutierrez, Norbert Mayday, Sifu Dragos, Sifu Sergio, Klaus Brand, those guys are fucking fighters because they took the time to study it. And because they have, look at all of them too. They're not American. They're all foreigners who know how to fucking fight. Look at the tools out there. Sorry. Alex Richter. Alex Richter went up against any of his overseas buddies, he'd get his ass kicked. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to pull you in this, Alex, but you were trolling somebody else the other day. So if you're going to be all kung fu expert, your technique is technique. You're not a fighter. That being said, same thing applies over in the William Chung lineage. You got a few guys. Keith is probably the only one I know. Shannon Moore, thank you for reminding me his name. If Shannon Moore unleashed, no one can deal with Shannon's size unless they get him off balance. So again, when it all boils down to it, guys, I know a lot of you want to be humble and you don't think I'm a martial artist because I'm not humble. I don't give a fuck. You have to speak about the reality of a fight. When I see somebody like Keith has tasted his own blood in the streets before. I know that. Jerry, you can see Jerry's got that. But fuck you for your opinion because you don't know me any more than I know you. So you just prove that your size is going to wind up being, your Wing Chun isn't all that. Your Wing Chun defaulted down to forwarding pressure and aggression. So I don't know what it is. Guys, remember, I'm only giving my opinions out there based on what I see and what I've been through and what I know. But you have to stop trying to make Wing Chun out to be some mysticism shit that you have to see for it to apply. You just saw two guys of the same lineage who look nothing like what they advocate for training, falling back on what their body's automatic nervous system tells them based off of a concept. Hope that makes sense. I'm enjoying this. Comment below what you guys think. Appreciate this. I'll see you guys in the next video.